Hello YouTubers. I have here a Crosley Model 158 made in 1933. Back in 2008 I have a video of me restoring this radio. I restored it in 2007 and made a video in 2008 I believe, and the camera I used wasn't all that good a quality. But anyways, this is the only thing I have left, the only radio I have left which I did not give to the auction, and I wanted to use it at home. Well, it sat up on my computer desk on the top for all these years and never got used other than just turned on occasionally, and all you get is static from the computers and the wall warts and the switching power supplies and everything, so it's virtually useless to listen to AM anyways in the computer age. I'm going to give this to my first cousin, Rosie, and she's going to put it in her room on a shelf and enjoy it. So when I kick the bucket, she'll have something to remember me by. She was the victim of a lot of noisemakers back in the younger days. I used to pull a lot of tricks on her and her husband with noisemakers and stuff, but I promised her I would not put a noisemaker in here. And do you know why? Because I no longer have a workshop, the eyesight to make a noisemaker, and I've outgrown that tendency. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug this in. This hasn't been tried since 2007 or 2008. We're going to take it over here to the workshop, the shed, and plug it in. It's only got a little piece of wire for an antenna. Okay, the dial light is lit. The tubes are lit. Now, it might pick up some interference here because I've got two compact fluorescent lights. Volume controls need to be cleaned again.
To watch this. Call 800-773-5750. That's 800.
This is a tone control.
800-773-5750. If you're an individual investor looking for tax-free income, consider municipal bonds. Henyon & Walsh is a leading independent expert in municipal bonds. For over 20 years, they've been helping individual investors like you build bond portfolios. If you have,
I wish they had a better place to show this off.
Call Henyon & Walsh today for your free bond guide. Call 1-800-585-5859. That's 1-800.
Oh, for crying out loud, these irritating commercials.
Discovered this until December of this past year, so we're trying to get to the bottom of ourselves. That being said, our goal is to complete stay-in, and to complete the stay-in.
Okay, I turned it off. Okay, as you heard, radio plays fine. Volume control needs cleaning, but that's to be expected. And the radio was completely restored, and I made a video, I think it was 2008, on this restoration that I did in 2007, and everything was replaced in the radio, and the antenna coil was open. That's quite common on these radios years ago. When you had long wire antennas and you got a close by lightning strike, they usually knocked out the antenna coil. So what I had done is I have it on a schematic of a little capacitor that I added in there. I think it's about 5 picofarads or so, to couple the open antenna coil to the secondary antenna coil transformer, which is one of these round transformers up under the set. You can't see it here. So what I had done is enabled it to work, although not quite as sensitive, but at least it worked, because it would, otherwise the antenna coil would have to be rewound And even then, in 2007, my eyes were starting to go bad. So I couldn't see to do that kind of work, you know. And even 40 years ago, my eyes wouldn't permit me to work that stuff. It was too fine a detail. So that's the only thing that really is wrong with this, is the antenna coil is open. But as you heard, the radio works quite well on only 3 foot of wire, and I happen to put this white wire here for an antenna, which should really be a brown wire or something, another kind of a wire in there rather than that. I had replaced the lamp cord with cloth cord, new old stock, or reproduction, I don't remember which now. The speaker I had to replace, repair the cone. I did not replace the speaker, I wanted to keep it original. And I put these tags on the tubes here, little tags. I have a roll of that sticker somewhere around. I just labeled each of the tubes in the base and put them in. It was a basic restoration. I never went in detail about the chassis or anything, and the cabinet is pretty good except for a piece missing here. On the front, I'm not sure which one of these was broken right off. Bill Morris, the fellow that kept all the stuff for me and had the auction, he repaired this at no cost, so he redone this, but the cabinet, as you can see, does need some work, and I was never any good at that, so I never attempted it. I'm going to give this to my cousin, and she can, she's going to probably maybe not even use it, because, you know, in this day and age, you got computers and stuff all over the place. So, you won't be able to pick up anything. I'm surprised it works out here, considering, well, I only got one CFL light working up here, so it didn't pick up too much interference. But if I was to bring this in the house, it would be impossible to listen to it all. So, she's more or less going to have this because she grew up with a radio like this, and so did I, for that matter. Had a radio when I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I vaguely remember having a cathedral type radio in the house. So that's one of the reasons why I kept it. It's the only radio that I had in my collection that I wanted to save. It was the best of them. The Atwater Kent Model 82, which never got restored, was given away at the auction, and I'm still ticked off about that, for a lousy 40 bucks, and I was told that's an $800 radio. Whether it is or not, I don't know. It was given to me. But this one, the history behind this radio, and I'm getting long-winded, as always in my videos, the history behind this radio is, I got this about 10 years ago at a yard sale for $15. It was a basket case. The cone was all smashed out of it. Very little of the cone and the speaker cone was good. The grill cloth is original. This was all smashed out. Knobs are complete. The tubes were all there. There wasn't missing any tubes. And the only thing, somebody had put this in. This was that way when I got it. I don't know who did it, but I guess it strengthens up the cabinet, because you only got thin plywood here all the way across, and made for a very weak cabinet. So this is a good thing, even though it's not really matches good. But somebody with a cabinet work is good at it will be able to fix that up, I'm sure, and make it look like the original. But anyways, all I did is electronically restore it. I did not do anything with the cabinet whatsoever. So my cousin's going to get this. Right now she has a lot of health issues, so hopefully everything will be okay with her. She's a year younger than me, and well, let's hope the best. Everything goes with, she's got a lot of, like I say, a lot of health issues, but I promised her this radio several years ago, and she wants to keep it in her room on a shelf so she can remember the old goat, because when the old goat kicks his bucket and sooner or later the old goat will kick his bucket, and when he kicks his bucket, she'll have something to remember the old fart by. So before we close out this video, I want to show you a few video snapshots, I should say, of the radio in the stages of restoration. So with that note, let's get started with the slideshow. That's all. That's the show, and thank you very much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, everybody.